Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another video episode on ForgottenWeapons.com. I'm Ian. Today we have a bolt action because, as I may quote from the manual for this rifle, in this atomic age there is still a demand for the manually operated bolt action rifle. This is a Madsen, commonly called a model 1947, although they weren't actually in production until 1951. And well, it turns out in the atomic age there really wasn't a demand for bolt-action rifles anymore, but Madsen gave it a try. They developed this after World War II, figuring that they could make a somewhat short, somewhat lightweight bolt-action rifle for basically third world countries that couldn't afford the fancy new semi-autos that were on the market. They advertised these as being available in pretty much any caliber you wanted, including 7.62 NATO. 5 or 10 round magazines. There was a long version and a short version, a heavy version and a light version. You could get telescopic sights or just iron sights. Pretty much anything you want, just please buy our rifle. And it didn't really work. The only country that ever bought these was Colombia. They ordered a couple thousand for their Navy. They were never actually issued. They went into storage and then went straight on to the American surplus market. So there aren't a whole lot around, but when you find them, they tend to be in excellent condition because they were never actually used. So this is not a Mauser. Let's take a little closer look at how this operates. As I mentioned, it is a turn bolt rifle. To remove the bolt, we just pull the trigger, slide it out the back. What's interesting here is that this is a rear locking design. So there are no locking lugs up at the bolt face. There are two back here that lock into the rear bridge of the receiver. And the bolt handle itself acts as a third safety lug. So yeah, it's a perfectly adequate design. Doesn't really offer you anything above a Mauser, but with this in the rifle, the safety is fairly well done. The safety lever is here on the side. You push in this catch, rotate it up for safe, and when you do that, it also blocks your sights so that you can't mistakenly try to shoot the rifle while it's on safe. Speaking of sights, the rear sight on this is fairly nice and a bit unorthodox. If we zoom in here, you can see that it has a rear aperture sight instead of a typical U-notch. The red paint on there is not original, that was added by the rifle's owner. And the rear sight is click adjustable for windage, which is a nice little addition. Fully hooded front sight. Again, the red paint was added by the owner, that's not original. And it does have, there are a couple elements in this to reduce recoil. One is a built-in compensator on the muzzle. We'll see how effective that is when we get some shooting in. They also came from the factory with about an inch thick, fairly soft, nice recoil pad. So again, we'll also see how that fares when we start shooting. These are stripper clip fed by 5-round clips. Not a bad rifle. Recoil is actually pretty mild on this. It does have about an inch thick rubber butt pad that came from the factory. These were sort of intended for smaller statured people. Part of Madsen's marketing strategy, which failed, but the thought was there, I suppose. Let's run another clip through it. I like this. This was the last bolt action design ever produced. After this, people really got the idea that there just was no commercial market for this sort of rifle anymore for the military. And it's nice, it's well built. It's kind of a shame that they didn't come up with this 20 years earlier and actually sell a bunch of them. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it.